let's talk about whether this is the right thing for you. So how do you know if it's the right choice for you? I think we should start with the skills that are needed. So let's make a premise. These are companies that really value diversity, as I said before. I'm going to go through some of the skills that I think are really needed, but make no mistake, there is still plenty of space for people with different personalities and from different backgrounds to succeed. So these are the things that, let's say, are common denominator, but they can be interpreted very differently. So the number one skill is communication, because there is no job in FMCG where you work in a vacuum. You will always need good communication skills to be able to present the results of your work, to be concise in writing, to be careful to choose how to position something and what to keep in and out of your communication, and also, why not, in your body language. All these things can make a great difference. And very much related to point one is you've got to be a team player. Whatever job you will get in FMCG will require you to collaborate with many people. And we saw that these are very big companies, and pretty much everything you have to do needs the help of someone else to be completed, and this for the benefit of someone else. So it helps a great deal to be a networker, because often you may find help outside of your team, and then knowing who to ask and how to ask could really make your life a hell of a lot easier in terms of how do you get your stuff done and how much time it gets you to get stuff done. So number three, leadership. This is a word that is overused in the industry, and I mean, I'm sure you realize pretty much everywhere you search about videos on the industry, if you go on corporate websites, rankings, everything else. But my personal view on this is that, in particular in FMCG, leadership is, the word for getting stuff done. This is because you will have to deal with a volatile environment, and you will have responsibilities from the very first day. So you have to be able to take decisions on your own and to get things done, and you have to be able to convince other people to help you and prioritize you over 100 other things that are happening. So the key here is get stuff done, being able to convince the others and bring them with you along your project or whatever you're working on. And the other thing is being proactive is key. So you have to be a person that, if sees something that doesn't work, goes and gets fixed it, rather than kind of leaves the situation as it is. Number four, sense of judgment of which is also what many people will call 80-4-20. For those of you who studied economics, you may be familiar with the Pareto principle. In business, this means doing the 20% of the job that makes 80% of your work plan, or get some forecast 80% right with 20% of the work. Let's say you're going to work in an environment where you systematically have more work than you can afford to do, and you have to be able to be judgmental in deciding what is important, what gets you 80% of the stuff with 20% of the effort. And practically what this means is that this is an industry for people that are able to multitask and that can accept dealing with some level of uncertainty, making some assumptions, leaning forward a bit on some things, having a bit of a gut feeling on some items. And number five, last but not least, is the ability to think fast, to innovate, and to reapply. And I'd say this one is a bit of a sum of all the above, but I want to give you a bit of a context, because I understand this can sound a bit cliche and empty otherwise. So let me let me make some examples of typical dilemmas you will face on a daily basis when working in an FMCG company. So say you work for a brand that is leader in its category with 70% market share, and all of a sudden you get a report that shows that you lost 15 points of share basically overnight. So what do? This is one of the questions. One other question could be, you figure out that the market is evolving towards a segment where you're not playing, which would be a premium segment or a niche segment, and you're not playing there, and you want to be part of that. So what do? Or say you just launched a new product in 5 countries, and in one country it works extremely well, but actually in the other 4 countries is a disaster. Nobody's buying it. What do? I mean, all these questions you have to be able to answer them. How fast are you in answering them? With which means, what kind of leverages would you pull? This is all stuff that happens pretty much every day in a mature, highly competitive industry such as FMCG. And you have to consider that there is no such a thing like an easy market leadership. So being fast in reaction is key, and that's why the ability to think fast is highly appreciated and let's say compensated.